How you doing? Welcome back to Rustaholic. I'm Patrick, and we're still working on my 1963 Corvair, but hopefully not for too much longer. We're really getting close now. In this episode, I actually have a list, and if we're able to complete this, we'll have a complete unit here ready to go back in the car. So super excited about that. First thing I need to do is dig out the transmission and the diff, which have been slowly bleeding to death in the corner. So we'll pull that out and do what we need to do to get all of this reconnected. And then we're gonna have some seals and things like that to replace on the diff. I know we got some yokes or some, what the hell? U-joints. We got some U-joints to replace on the diff as well. A couple seals there, drain covers, small stuff really. And then we should be able to put the whole engine and everything back together and get ready to put it in the car. So let's get to it. Yep, probably should have went ahead and drained the transmission fluid out of this before storing it here for a couple months, but I don't know, maybe next time. Something like that. Alright, I was just going to slap these back together, but I decided I'm going to clean up the face of the diff right here and just make sure it's all nice and clean. I think all the seals are fine in this area, but I haven't literally touched it since I separated it, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick clean. Then we'll get the converter on, and then we'll finally get these together. Sorry for the extended time lapse. I thought I was actually in regular mode there for a while. Rookie move. Anyway, it actually went on pretty good, with the exception of trying to get these bolts in here are sandwiched between a rock and a hard place, and even trying to get a little wrench in there is tough. And I got one on this side and one on this side I need to get in. I need to attach the bolts here from the flywheel to the converter, and once that's done, then we can actually put on the starter and everything else and take all this janky stuff off, but we are getting close. But oh, it fits. Like a 16th at a time here. 16th at a time. This is going to take a while. We'll be back when we get this actually secure and can move on with our lives. Woo! It's finally on. That was way harder than it should have been. But it's all connected. Let's just see. Oh, alright, well. I want it to stay up, so I'm gonna get a little block for under here. All right, woo! Finally can get this stuff off. It's together, it's all one piece. Let's look. Converter is in. Connect. It's been connected. 2 things off the list so far. All right, next is trans and diff. Yoke seals. So I think we'll get to the yoke seals pretty soon, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do these U-joints next. Since I gotta pull the yokes out anyway, I'm gonna do replace the U-joints. Got some brand new U-joints. These look pretty horrible, so I'll probably put them in the sandblaster real quick, clean them up, and then see if I can't get these pushed out. And then once I got the new U-joints in here, then we'll go ahead and replace these seals, and I think we'll be good. All right, I'll be right back. All right, well that was a bust. Let me show you. These things are so old and rusted together. Those pins don't even move. And even on the other side, I got it to come out, but it still won't move. So I'm just gonna let those soak for a few days. And we'll see how that goes. We're going to move on to something else. I still need to actually connect the converter to the flywheel itself, so I think we'll move on to that. I do need to replace these seals back here. This one's actually okay, but the other one on the other side is totally torn out, but I don't have a seal puller, so I'll get one of those, so we'll do that as well. But until we get to that situation, come on, there we go. We'll just let that sit. And we'll move on to some other stuff. So we'll go this way if we have to. All right, I've got the first hole lined up, and honestly, I don't even know until I turn this if this can only go one way or it'll work no matter which way you go. I don't even know. Whoa, jeez. I'm hoping for the best here. I'm gonna use some blue on it. It is lined up, so that's a good sign. Right, I got that as tight as I can without being totally snug. And let's turn the crank and just make sure we're not actually, we can move around. Ooh, that looks like it lines up pretty good. Let's see. Yep. All right. All right, rotate. Woo. Looks like it's gonna work. It's gonna work. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lock this in, torque it down, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, I was really hoping to get this done, but I'm getting stuck here. I can't move forward confidently because of the certain things that I gotta do. But I'm not ready to quit, so we're just gonna move forward here and have some fun buttoning all this stuff up. Let's put on all the covers, let's tighten all the bolts, and let's just do that instead. I mean, progress is progress. We just gotta keep moving. Looks like we got everything we can on it for right now. Still more to come. You know how sometimes you have those jobs you think are gonna go pretty easy, and then like 3 days later you're still screwing around with it? U-joints. That's my issue right now. So let me catch you up. So when I pulled those out of the diff, they were pretty corroded. There was definitely some rust issues, etc. And I tried to get a couple of the clips out and they weren't working. I lubed them up a little bit, let them sit. I was able to get a few out of at that point. Then I started trying to actually pull them. The pullers I have didn't work. I ended up cutting the center sections out, right? Because I was like, I was done with it. I'm all done messing with that. So I cut the center sections out and they still wouldn't come out. So I put them in a vise and I think I had like a nut or something. Oh, and a couple of the clips broke. And because they were just rusted. I ended up having a little nut that I stuck on the end of the cap, put it in a vise and squeezed it as far as I could. And then was able to get a punch and a hammer and just slam the crap out of it until it finally broke free and came out. So one of them came out clean, is ready to go. There's one more that has the rusted clip is in there bad. I could not get it out. I couldn't chisel it out. I couldn't pick it out. So I threw them both in the parts cleaner and let's see. It's been a day or so. Let's pull it and see what we're working with. Maybe we can actually do something with it. Maybe not, I don't know. Let's see here. One of the caps popped off. No big deal. All right, so this one is the one that's good. This one's fine, no big deal here. I was able to actually get everything out. These grooves look clean. I'll be able to put a new U-joint in that, no problem. All right, let's see this guy. This is my problem child right here. All right. So this side is clear. This side is not. You can see there's a ring still in there, a little clip. I don't know if this did any good. If it doesn't, I'm gonna hit it with some heat and then try again, hit it with some heat, try again. And eventually this is gonna come out because I'm not buying a new one. This thing is got to come out at some point. So that's the next step. I'll keep you updated. Oh, we got it. No, we didn't. Oh, we broke it. That's even worse. That's even worse. Now I don't even have anything to grab onto. Just trying to get this thing to move. I only have one little point of contact I can play with, seems. All right, some more readjustments, some more banging on it. I'll let you know. The ring that's still remaining in that U-joint is like 3/4 of the way around. I have been able to get it to move up and down within the groove, so it seems free. I can't seem to get it to like rotate clockwise or otherwise, but it does go up and down, so I feel like it should be able to come out at this point if I can just get up behind it. So gonna dig through some tools, see if I can find some kind of pointed hook type thing. I don't know. We'll see what we can do. I got it out of the groove. Just the tiniest bit. I think we might win this one. I'm going for it. Let me see if I can set up the camera for the win. We win. Nice. Battle over. Okay, we got it. They're ready. So that was quite a battle, but I'm glad that that's over. I mean, that only took a couple days, so that's fine. All right, next up, I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean these a little bit more. I'm gonna hit the inside of these with like some 300 grit or something, just, you know, smooth it out a little, make sure there's no burrs or anything on the edges. Make sure the new clips I have will go in and rotate around all the way without any issues, should be okay. And then go ahead and put in the new U-joints. Once we do that, then we can move on. I think we only got a couple more things to do. A couple seals on the diff, and we got to change out this transmission pan. So, all right, see you in a bit. Finally got those U-joints taken care of. My gosh, that was a battle. That was a battle. Sometimes those things you think's not gonna take very long. Really stretch it out. But anyway, we're past that. Next, I think we're gonna move on to the seals, and the seals in these actually on one side looked okay. On the other side, it's totally shot. And that's the same side where the U-joint was totally blown out on it. So I don't know, we're gonna take a look at that. So let me show you real quick this bad one, and then we'll yank these things out. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but on this side here, that seal is just totally gone. There's just nothing left of it. So we're gonna pull them both out on the sides anyway, and get those replaced. That was easy. First time I've ever actually used this tool. But yeah. Garbage. since I had cleaned this before, I went ahead and put assembly lube on all the stuff. And let's see. All right, this one doesn't go on this side. There's a long side and a short side. This is the short side. All right, I think that's it. All right, quick note to self. I noticed I made a mistake here when I put on these U-joints. I put the grease nubbin, whatever you want to call that thing, facing the diff instead of facing out. Probably would have been easier later down the road if this was facing out, but I did grease these real good. I'm not expecting to have to dig into this anytime soon. But yeah, note to self, try to get the the grease nubbin to the outside on these, because if it's all the way into about here, it's gonna be tough to get to that. Just something to think about. All right, we're finally on to the last item here on the back of this section here. I was gonna crack this open, but I don't think there's any reason to. It's not leaking and whatever. We will check the fluid level, but I can do that from over here. So not gonna mess with this at all. I'm done with these as far as I'm concerned. Really the only thing left is the transmission pan. So I did, you know, pop it and drained it, but for somehow it continued to leak for months over there in the corner, and even here it still leaks. So I'm not sure how that's possible, but we're gonna pull this out. It's gonna take a minute to clean all this up, get a new gasket on, and put it back up, and hopefully it won't leak for the first time in a long time. All right, let's get started. So I've got the pan off, and I just thought I'd show you real quick before I start cleaning it. It's all kinds of nasty. This transmission probably needs some help. But the truth of it is it still moves forward. And I don't know what kind of junk or whatever I've put in here over the years to have something that's white down there. Maybe you guys know. But we're gonna do the right thing here and totally ignore this. We're just gonna clean it. We're gonna put a gasket on it, and we're gonna put it back on there. Because like I said, this thing still goes forwards and backwards. And this is a sealing mission. We're not really trying to fix too much mechanical issues, if you know what I mean. So I wouldn't even know what that means. If you know what that means, let me know. But I'm just gonna seal this back up and put it back on. So that's the plan, and I'm sticking with it. All right. Hey, well, sometimes things just don't work out for a guy, you know? I got a nice clean pan here, ready to be reinstalled. Everything's clean here, but I've got no gaskets. I have looked everywhere, checked all my kits. It's not here, so either it didn't come with it, or I forgot to order it, or whatever. I don't have one. So we're just going to bolt this up with a couple bolts temporarily, and just move on with our lives. So I'm gonna do that, and then we can start putting everything else back together, because I think we're done on this side of the engine. So all right, checking the list. Remove and drain trans cover. Yep, did that. Reinstall the new gasket. Nope, that's a fail. We're gonna have to wait on that. And I only have 3 things left on the list. Spark plugs. Just gonna pull them out, clean them up, put them back in. Timing marks. So I got my paint pen, we'll do that next. And then everything else. So it's just 3 items left. All right, progress is being made. Spark plugs done, timing marks done. Now the only thing left on the list is literally everything else. So that's awesome. I think I am gonna move on to this guy next. I do have a new gasket for it. We can get it installed. But before I do that, I've been playing around with the idea of creating or a automatic tensioner or somehow putting a string on this or something. But since I already have this off, I'm just gonna take these two bolts out. I'm gonna drill a hole or two, just in case we do something crazy. If we don't get to it, whatever, we'll just keep using the same thing we've always done. Seems to work. But I've always thought, man, wouldn't that be great if I could get a tensioner on this thing? So I'm gonna do a little bit of prep for that, and then we'll get it installed. Suddenly remembered I don't have a vise anymore. It doesn't vise anything, is what I'm saying. So we're improvising, but my goal is to do a hole right back here, and maybe that'll give me the opportunity to get a hook in there or something that I can put a spring on and make my own tensioner. But we'll see. We just got to make a hole first. That's it. I still gotta take the old one off. I still got work to do. This is a bust. Okay, we're back. And I cleaned it up a little bit. It's actually ready to go. Went ahead and put on the gasket, put on a little of the sticky stuff, just so it'll stay put. And now I think we're ready to reinstall here. Just want to get everything started, and then we'll torque it down. And I think the book says for this it's going to be 7 to 13 foot-pounds, so it's not very much. Not very much. Also, got a couple new bolts because the old ones were too long, but these should be the right size now. Got to be careful, that might be 7 pounds right there. I'll go grab the torque wrench and we'll tighten this up. Apparently I'm going to go with 10 foot-pounds, which is 120 inch-pounds converted. We'll go with that. And that's it. Good. All right, I think we're gonna call it for this episode. I think I finally have this engine ready to go back into the car. So in the next episode, that's what we're gonna do. Finally gonna get it back in the Corvair. I still have a couple more things to figure out. I got this line right here that I've got to replace. I'm not gonna put the carbs or anything else on until we get it in the engine, so I think this is it. I'm gonna leave this back mount off also, because I don't know if you remember the last, when we pulled it out, I had some issues getting that cable through that, so I'm just gonna do the same thing in reverse, make sure we don't have that issue. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, comment, even subscribe if you want to. It's free. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.